Well, it's day 5, season 5, Dream 11 Spiceisle. Well, it's day 5, season 5, Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. We are here for game number 1. The Saffron Strikers, they are 2 from 3, while the Nutmeg Warriors, they are 1 from 2. Today, a crucial day. Somebody will go to the top. Somebody will move even closer to the top. Let's see what would happen. We are here for the toss. Over to you, Mr. Matref.
Chem is home captain, so you're going to spin. This is the coin we're going to use. Andrew, you call. Tail. Call it a tail. And it's a tail.
Andre, you won the toss. What would be your decision?
We will bowl first.
Again, I want to ask you why. Let's hear.
To be honest, well, it's the first game for today. I just want to see what the wicket is doing. It seems like there might be a little moisture, so I would like for my bowlers to make use of that moisture. Try to put the balls in the right area, and then hopefully we can restrict them to a reasonable total that we can chase.
Well, we saw a really scintillating match in your last game where you fielded first. Your batters just coming up a bit short. Any plans today of maybe changing your team?
No, same team. As I said previously, it doesn't matter how much they score. Once we score 1 run more, that means we're on the winning side.
All right, well, thank you very much there, Andre, and best of luck to you. Well, we are here with the Saffron Strikers captain, Kem. Kem, you lost the toss this morning. Had you won the toss, what would have been your decision?
We would have bowled first as well.
Bowling first, it means that there's something about the wicket that you guys really understand?
I mean, looking at the first 8 games, the stat says that the team that bats second, they won 4 games. And the team that bat, no, 6 games, sorry, and the team that bat first only won twice. So it favors bowling first, but at the end of the day, you have to come out and bat anyway, so we're up for the challenge.
Okay, yesterday you really didn't have a good day with the bat. Any changes to your squad?
No, same thing.
Okay, so can we look forward to seeing the Saffron Strikers apply themselves better with the bat today?
Yes, so hopefully we can put up a better showing with the bat and come out victorious today.
All right, well, there you had it from the captains. And so we are getting ready for match 1, day 5, Spiceisle T10. See you in a bit. All right, well, that was the toss, and we are going to be on the way shortly. I was here and I just stopped here. All right, so we are here. It's day 5 of the Spiceisle, the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament, and we are getting ready for today's matchup. And very important one for both teams. The Saffron Strikers, they have played 3 matches so far, and they have lost 1 and they have won 2. So they are on 4 points. A win for them today will mean that they move up the table and possibly up to the first position. And a win for the Nutmeg Warriors, on the other hand, will bring them a bit closer to the top of the table, maybe level on points with the Saffron Strikers. And so it's going to make for a very interesting game, very interesting matchup. We've seen Both teams have really good scores, and then they had a pretty disastrous game. And so both of them will be looking to bounce back from that more or less disastrous game and really put on a show that is going to be, worthy for the fans, because the fans, I know you are all out there and you're cheering on your teams and you want to see them winning and winning consistently. So just to let you know that the Nutmeg Warriors, their 11 for today will be Andre Fletcher, the captain. Also Daniel McDonald, Jevon Andrew, the wicketkeeper, Josh Thomas, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Michael Henry, Chris Alexander, Kyle Ramdu, Nyron Belfon, and Dejon Charles. So that's the 11 that will be on show for the Nutmeg Warriors in this matchup. The Saffron Strikers, their lineup: Otney Lewis, Kem Charles, the captain, Javel St. Paul, Rikel Sylvester, Shane Braffett, Ruel Williams, Adrian Thomas, Neilon Pascal, Nicobi John, and Tyrone Charles, along with Jamal Andrew. So that's the 11 that will feature for the Saffron Strikers. And this game promises to be a really keen encounter. We've seen the likes of Shane Braffett, who is within the top 10 in terms of run scoring. In his 2 matches, he had a total of 50 runs so far. Jevon Andrew, he is playing for the Nutmeg Warriors. He's number 6 on the list. And so it means that these two, Javel St. Paul, he's number 10. He's on 47. So these are the batters within the top 10 in this match. Fletcher not in the top 10 as yet, but we know what he can bring, and one good strong innings from here can propel him. Let's see what happens in today's matchup. In the bowling department, the bowlers really having a good time out here in this tournament. They seem to be picking up wickets in the very first over. So far, possibly one match or one, maybe 2 innings that the bowlers have not picked up a wicket in the very first over of the game. And so you can look forward to Neilon Pascal. He's leading in terms of wicket taking, and he's featured in this match also. He has a total of 6 wickets out of 3 matches. And so he's going to be one to look forward to. Enoch Toussaint, young under 19 player. He's on 4 wickets. He sits currently in number 5. He's in 5th position in terms of wicket taking. So we can look forward to seeing him willing to add to his tally today. I can tell you that Otney Lewis, he's number 10 on the bowling list. And again, he has an opportunity later on with the ball to see if he can add to his 3 wickets. And so these guys have a lot in store for you as we get to day 5, season 5 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. And don't forget, later on, you're going to witness our first spectator experience, where the spectators will have an opportunity to bowl for 100 and bat for 100. And 100 here meaning $100. You're going to have 3 attempts to hit the middle stump. And within that 3 attempts, if you hit it at any point in time, you win $100. And they will also get an opportunity to hit a 6. They have 3 deliveries in which to try to do so. So if you look at your monitors, you will realize the umpires are out. The Nutmeg Warriors, they are taking the field. And the Saffron Strikers batters, they are also taking the field. So momentarily, we will have the first delivery. And let's hope it's not a wicket and that the trend can be broken today. So, a really good condition. It's a bit hazy, but no real threat of rain as yet. It's shaping to be a really, really good hot day out in the middle. And I really will be looking forward to the likes of Sylvester and Charles and Fletcher and these boys to put on a show for us here today in this matchup. First match of day 5. I have with me Ashley Cummins. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning to you, Randall, and good morning to all listeners. Welcome again to the 5th edition, and we're expecting great, exciting cricket here today at last address.
So the batters out for the Saffron Strikers. Rikel Sylvester and Kem Charles. It's going to be Josh Thomas with the ball in hand. We saw a really interesting encounter yesterday where in the match between the Ginger Generals and the Saffron Strikers, spin featured in 6 of the 10 overs. And I'm talking, when I talk featured, I mean they started with spin. The second over was the first 6 overs. It was all spin. Contrasting here, we're going to have some pace bowling. I guess Fletcher just looking to see what moisture is there in the wicket that he may be able to exploit.
There are some clouds ahead and overhead, and the breeze is not all that strong, so there might be just something there for the seamers. But it was very interesting to see 6 overs bowling spin to begin with.
First delivery a bit wayward. Saffron Strikers will be happy with this. Wide signal by the umpire, and so they get off the mark, the Saffron Strikers. And it's 5 without loss. So in the context of what happened to them yesterday, they will be happy with this.
Yeah, much more, much more to the delight. They will be happy. A very small score it was, but already that first delivery showing that the ball, the pitch has some pace.
Not really getting the radar right there, Thomas.
Looking to bring the ball back into the batsman as usual, but just having the wrong line, direction not there, so he has to rethink. Maybe he has to do like the great Cotley Ambrose, make sure he cock that wrist and cock it properly.
He really doesn't want to give much room to the batter. Again, this one more on target. I think this is what he's been looking for, trying to go Yorker length very early.
Yorker length, or if not going into the pitch as much as possible. And this is always the lineup that fast bowlers, seamers would like to have in this early part of the inning.
Good carry through to the keeper. Keeper taking it just around the midriff. And it's good to see that the wicket continues to have that really good, genuine bounce.
Well, as I said, kudos to the groundsmen. They have been doing a great job, and all that could happen to only get better.
Quite agree with you. 6 without loss. Thomas to Sylvester. Again, just spraying it there, not really getting that radar right. He has a slip in place in Captain Fletcher. He doesn't seem really interested in using the slip at all.
Yeah, as a seamer, once you look at the slip, you have to always remember this is where the captain wants you to bowl, especially when the captain himself is in slip. There is a direction, there is that impetus that you should be having in bowling.
Getting it bang on target, and it picks up a wicket in the first over. I said it, and here we have it. I don't know what is happening, but this year's T10 is just proving to be bowlers friendly.
Well, as I always said, that the wicket is a wicket that is what you put in, that's what you get out. When the batters stay and bat for long, they get runs. The bowlers, once they are pitching on good length, good line, and the batters lock in concentration, they will just have to walk back to the dugout as this batsman is making his way back out there. Very much disappointed.
Well, Sylvester really not having a good time at the wickets in his previous 3 matches here. Really haven't set the place alight as we know he can. We looked at him in the finals of the GCA NLA T20 and he was really on song. Even the semi-finals, played a game against Police where he scored some 70 odd in maybe about 29 deliveries. And so for the Saffron strikers, they will really hope that he could replicate this at some point during this competition.
Well, let's hope he can do it. But as I said, Power Spark is a different game, different ball game to here at Las Vegas. The new batsman in, Kem Charles, is it? Or no, Sean Bradford?
Yeah, it's Sheehan Bradford from Barbados. So bringing the Caribbean flair to the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. When you hear the name Sheehan Bradford, you remember the Breakout League. And the win was versus Barbados, where he really dealt with the pace bowling. But here comes Thomas. Bradford in the approved manner.
Very confident too, very, very confident. Got behind the line of the ball and just push it in front of him. And very much composed in stature, and he seemed to be all organized, just the way how he played that first delivery. Let's see what Josh will do. May have different thoughts.
Lifting this one. That's gone. That is out of here. What a shot by Bradford. Just whipping that one. It was slightly leg side. And all he needed to do was just to lift it. Let's look at the replay here. Really, really not even looking. He was so assured that that was a maximum. He didn't even need to look.
Well, his eyes was on the ball. So there is no need to look again where the ball is going to land after he hit it. What a shot.
And this is what we know of Bradford. Contrary to what we saw yesterday, he had a really difficult day in that the spinners seem to have kept him in check, frustrated him somewhat, and so he wasn't really able to get off. Pace bowling, he really loves it.
So Josh will have to have different thought. His line of approach to him now will, I guess, will be very much different. But after getting a whipping shot like this, you have to be thinking, what next?
Yeah, certainly has to be thinking. T10 is a very short format. The bowlers only have 12 deliveries to make their name. And so they want to make sure that these 12 deliveries are very profitable for their teams. If you bowl 13 and 14 deliveries, then you are faltering.
Definitely so, and you should not be going 13 and 14.
And this one seemed to find the gap again. And Bradford will pick up more runs. This is what he loves, Sheehan Bradford. He loves the ball coming at him. And so Thomas again just airing in line. Pretty easy shot there. 4 more to the total.
Well, not a good start there from the Warriors, but the Saffron Strikers, they are off to 17 for 1. And they would like to continue along the path. And even if they had lost that wicket, the current one is 17. So it is all well and good. Target projected score of 170. Let's see if they can get there with Nyron Belfon picking up the attack from the pavilion end. Very strong built left-handed seamer from St. Mark.
Belfon will certainly need to do a job here. Want to see the back of possibly both of these batters. And that will settle the nerves of the Nutmeg Warriors. As long as Bradford is there, you have reason to be nervous. Easy single there by Charles, just getting off the mark. Doing the right thing. Bradford seemed to have come out with some momentum. You want to give him as much strike as possible.
I think yes, this is definitely the thing that will have to be done, because after getting 17 runs of the first over, Bradford picking up 10 runs of the first over is the right thing to do to ensure that he gets the strikers regularly as possible, as he had said, a prayer to his God.
Again, you're seeing that the wicket has something to offer. That one was just a bit slower by Belfon. So the slower ball seemed to be working.
And good batsmanship on the part of Bradford, because he was able to check the stroke. And as I said earlier on, he seemed to be very much organized with himself. So let's see what happens again.
Again, slower delivery, looking to turn it. I think this is where Bradford is uncomfortable. The ball not really coming through.
On, yes. And Naran Belfon really picking that, and he's going to work on that.
Yeah, this is really good stuff. Let's see what he will do. He doesn't want to become predictable. Well done there. Piece on delivery now. So Bradford has to be thinking. It's not smooth sailing against Nyron Belfort.
Definitely so. And that's what cricket is all about. You got to have the bowler thinking. You have to have the batsman thinking. The fieldsmen, they got to be thinking. And even so, the umpire is not only watching, but they have to be thinking too.
Again, piece of delivery. This time a bit shorter. So really good job here by Belfon.
Excellent bowling.
I have to give him kudos.
Excellent bowling.
This type of bowling makes life difficult for the batters, as good as you are. Just the fact that the guile and the mystery about what is to come. Have to be mindful as a batter. You don't want to just go swinging for the fences. Again, slower delivery and not able to really get it away. And so a really good tight over to pull back the damage that has been done in the first over. And so kudos to Belfona. Has raised his hand here and done a good job for his captain. 1 run coming from that over. 18 for 1 over number 2.
Well, you can't ask for anything better from Belfon in his second over. Just pulling back everything, and only just a single coming from his first over. So the captain, the team will all be happy with what he has done, as we see Josh Thomas is going to pick up again from the far end of the ground. How do you refer to this end of the ground?
Well, this is the road end or the river end,
Or similarly, Progress Park?
pavilion end or the bay end, as we would normally say. Thick outside edge is not going to carry. Well fielded there by McDonald. Thomas with a pace on delivery, just turning Charles around slightly. Luckily for him, it dropped before it got to McDonald on the third man boundary. But again, pace on from Thomas. I'm asking myself, does he already have the slower delivery in his armory? Okay, another piece on delivery, well played by Braffett. Just getting off the strike. In this format, the less dot balls you have, the more likely your team will get to a good score.
I like the attitude of Thomas in that second over. He's not actually bowling the balls that the batsman could predict quite early. If you look at him, look at the length that he's trying to bowl now is all different. He seems to be a little bit more settled now after getting a bad wake-up call in the first over. He seemed to be a little more settled with himself now, though he had just had this wide delivery looking to come back inside the batsman, but he just skipped his direction. So a little bit of well, I wouldn't say overcast, but a little bit cloudy now. We have lost the sunshine here for some time as the clouds just covers the sun.
So, looking at the field that is set, you do get the feeling that Thomas is going to be threatening that wide line outside that off stump. Not really want to be close to the batters. I do believe Fletcher may have to be right back on the edge of that 30-yard circle,
Yeah.
if he stands a chance. Certainly Thomas is not willing to give up anything else
Well,
to these batters.
He's always that sort of attacking bowler, so you expect that he'll be coming at you all the time.
It's cut, but cut really well. It's really a good shot there from Charles, standing tall and using the pace and just guiding it over that point region, pulling up a Carib power hit maximum.
Well, he kept his eyes all the way on the ball. He saw where it pitches, he saw the height the ball was coming on. He kept his eyes and played a magnificent shot for Carib power maximum.
Again, go in this time. It's high. Who's going to catch it? Fletcher is there. And he puts it down. He had enough time to get underneath this one. Swerved, and eventually just moved away from him. These catches are not easy to take, but someone of the stature of Spiceman Fletcher, you expect him to take this any day.
Well, 100% all the time you expect him to take that catch.
Yeah, really, Charles not in a position to hit that one. Keeper could have gone, but Fletcher was there. Braffett going hard and just really like a tracer bullet. It went past the man there at the short mid-wicket, and it races into the fence. So a good end to over number 3. The Saffron Strikers, they move on to 32 for 1 after 3 overs.
So it's not a bad start. Scoring a run rate of what? Just 10.7 at the time. 32 for 1 after 3 overs. Josh Thomas finishing his spell. 1 for 32 after 2. With Braffett on 15 from 10 and Tim Charles 9 from 5. Welcome, Hector.
Yes, and saying all morning. Just to go back to that attempt by Fletcher, they were always in decision as to whether which one of them apparently should have gone. Fletcher probably made the lead decision in the end to take it, but it's always my view that if the keeper can get to it, the glove man should be the one to have taken the catch. I don't know if there was some calling, if there was some talking, but they would probably ruin that chance. These two batsmen now beginning to move on for the Saffrons, and it's probably quite an opportune time to pick up a wicket. But that was not to be. There's a change in the bowling now, and Charles will come in to bowl to his opposite namesake, Charles. And a single was at 33 for 1. So a decent start, scoring at 10.42. Projected score for 104, but it's very early on, and I expect that if wickets are kept in hand and the tempo are kept up, they can probably get somewhere in the region of 120 plus.
Well, Braffett, both he and Charles been looking good. Just missing this one outside the off stump there is Braffett.
Just like on other occasions, he looked good against the faster stuff. Struggled a bit yesterday, I'd say, that against the slower man. In fact, all the batsmen, in fact, never really looked at home, never looked assured against the spin yesterday. So haven't seen pace on the ball not until after the 8th over. So must be a bit more refreshing for them to the short and pulled. And again, down towards backward square. It went down there really quickly by Brathwaite. You see, he likes to play the ball pretty square and both on onside and offside. That's shown also too that he's somewhat of a 360 player. Plays it right around the ground. Charles. Oh, he's run out. He has to be. Yes, he is. Well, the umpire has called for the replay, but I think Brathwaite knows that he's short. It was really not a sensible single. It was a delivery which he played, and he almost carried to the fielder at backward point. And it was a late decision probably to go for the single. And in the end, he perishes. And I think he will wait for the replay. He knows that he's gone.
A very good bit of fielding from the fielder position there. And unfortunately, Brathwaite has to make the long distance back to the pavilion for 12 of 16 deliveries. And he must be a disappointed man.
Yes, he is beginning to really hit the ball pretty nicely. And to have gone in that fashion. The game is T10, and it's the shorter version of the game. He has to make decisions and make it very quickly. And
the new batsman is St. Paul.
Of course, St. Paul, who is what to call it, the enforcer on the team. And didn't get to do that yesterday. He went pretty early. And there we see the replay. Brathwaite not even being in this, not even being in the picture. And easy run out in the end. Direct hit from behind point on the offside. So I had to call that a real bonus wicket.
Yes, yes. This is what you call a bonus wicket. And the Nutmeg Warriors are very much happy with that. It means that the Saffron strikers will have to beat again.
So we just want to see what type of approach we'll have from St. Paul. It's still very early. We're in the 4th over. 2 deliveries ago in the 4th over. And really going to overdrive right away. It's left to be seen.
I don't think it's quite necessary for getting into overdrive so early. You got a couple overs where you can play yourself in again. Keep building. And by the 7th over, I look to do that.
Charles, how do you describe the bowling of Charles in terms of rather languid in his approach? Just arms in and jumps and Not a lot of pace anyway, but does exercise fairly good control.
For a fast bowler, I think he's very much at the sort of lay-back side of his run-up. If you look at it, he's just amble through and does what he has to do. Look at it. Just casual. And that's a well-played shot. Well judged.
Yeah,
Keep his eyes on the ball and just find the gap. Down to the boundary it goes. 4 runs.
yes, a delivery outside the off stump. Probably a bit wide, giving him some room outside the off stump. He probably would think that he wanted to get more bat on it, but probably getting more the outer portion of, in fact, just using the wrist really, opening the face of the bat and just allowing it to run off the face and go down behind point on the offside. There's no one patrolling that third man boundary, and an easy boundary to Kem Charles. Well, this has taken him on to Kem Charles on to 14 from 8. St. Paul is on 1. And he will be taking strike from Enoch Toussaint, in fact, who is, remembering Enoch Lewis. Yeah, Enoch Toussaint had a really good bowl in the previous game, picked up 4 wickets.
Yes.
It's a young man who has some talent. He just come out of the under-19 setup. So still a very young man learning the trade, basically. Seems to have a very good head on the shoulder. But so far in this tournament, he has been tested, having bowled the last over in the game which they lost to but probably did learn something from that. And it starts with a good yorker. We saw a number of yorkers from him. In fact, a couple of them would have uprooted the stumps on a couple of occasions. So therefore, he's really thinking this thing over. And there's no time, Ashley, for a bowler to go into death bowling mode. I think from ball 1, they should try to contain the batsman, but there is no containing here on this occasion as St. Paul gets one in his favorite area. You don't pitch up to that length. Give St. Paul that length outside the off stump. And it has disappeared into his favorite area around the wide long on area for a maximum.
Well, there is no bowler you could think of that is going to get food on the table and don't eat. So if you're going to put it there, St. Paul is going to hit, and he's going to hit you far away.
As I said, it's really a learning process. He's just bowled a brilliant yorker and probably just missing the length. Such a difficult delivery to bowl, actually, the yorker. You really have to hit it on a bit pinpoint with it.
That's a very special skill. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you just don't. It's a very special skill. It all has to do with the wind, it all has to do with your action, and all those things will have to be taken into account. Concentration and how well you keep your cool.
I applaud players, bowlers, who are willing to give it a try and who are willing to keep working on it and keep bowling it. Because it does have also rich reward when it works.
Most definitely. I remember looking at Malinga versus Marlon Samuel. And after Malinga thought he could have really got through with Samuel with those yorkers, it was all a different something for him.
Well, I admit that I haven't seen a batsman been so prolific against yorkers.
Yeah, he was a special. He said that.
And you know, at that time there was not much talk about batsmen and setup, and about getting deep into the crease, and you wasn't hearing too much about that. But this is what Marlon displayed at that point.
He was an exceptional batsman.
So once again, Toussaint not afraid to go up there.
I like the attitude of this young man. He's not afraid, and that's what you have to. That's how you have to be as a fast bowler. You got to be fearless. You got to get to the batsman, and no matter how you get to them, you got to get to them, and that's what he's doing. I enjoy looking at him.
line delivery this time to Charles, to St. Paul. He can do no more than to push it up on the outside and have a single. 46 for 2. We're in over number 5. Kem Charles is on 14. Javel St. Paul has moved to 8 from 4. Scoring at exactly 200 strike rate. Strike rate of exactly 200. Most batsmen would want to be going at probably a strike rate of 300 in T10. Again, this one right up. And Charles virtually have to be not quite digging it out, but really can't get underneath it. But managed to strike it up towards the Spiceman, who is deep down on the long off boundary. And he certainly make that position his own, the Spiceman.
It's definitely so, and you can definitely see that Toussaint has decided, I'm not going to go anything short. I'm going to go up there, and he's going to stay on the wicket. You miss, I hit. And I think that's a very good ploy. And there he goes again.
Good delivery. And even St. Paul, and that's probably a stroking admission. Not much I can do about that. And it comes to the end of another over. Another 2 cent over. And it's after over number 5. It's 45 for 2. And probably the Saffron strikers would be looking towards probably a total, as I said, in excess of 100 as it is now. If they continue at that rate, they would fall just short of the 100, but I think they would want to push that on. They would want to go much quicker than that. They'd probably want to put something towards 100, 110, 120, which would make for a dramatic chase.
Yes, you have to put something on the board if you want to get a good out of the match. As he hits this one again on the ground. Ball in the air for some time, but the first man come around nicely, picking up. And one more to the total. St. Paul is now going to take strike. Daniel McDonald.
Charles, in a sense, just sort of losing his form there. And there is St. Paul looking for a huge hit. And the delivery, if anything, probably just going away from him and shade outside the off stump, having to reach for it and not making contact. Because a little bounce again in Operation Series. And this one has gone straight up. Well, and how far has it gone? It has gone, well, did he manage to get it back in time? I'm very doubtful. The umpire will have a very close look at that to determine whether it has gone over the boundary or whether he was in contact with the boundary at the point of making contact with the ball. That we will see in a moment. It has gone pretty high up. And where is he? There or thereabout, probably, yes, probably may just have his foot against the rope.
That's where the umpire signal. Seems that it's just a single.
Probably still on the walkie-talkie.
Still, yeah.
So probably still having a look at it. Or no, in fact, I think they're still having a look. That looked very much 6 to me. I don't know. Let's see what he will decide eventually.
Having a long wait.
It's really touch and go. It's very, very close indeed. And probably the fielder might be in the best position to.
Yes, the benefit of the doubt, I think I will give it to the fieldsman at this time.
Yes. Well, it is what it is. No further damage done. For a single, good. So we can now say good work by the fielder down on the boundary. It was Charles down on the boundary. Awareness as to where he was. And this time, Kem Charles is hitting it over the Spiceman. And it went a long way, almost coming against the building where we are here for another maximum, another carry shot maximum.
That's a good shot.
Yes, it was
a lovely timing. Good placement.
So 55 for 2. We're in two legitimate deliveries to the end of over number 6. Series McDonald being a bit roughly treated there, and another swings it down in the air. The fielder comes around but can't get there, and they'll pick up a couple. Another looking to swing it away and not quite getting hold of it, and probably it's a good thing he didn't quite time it the way he wanted to. And the ball dropping just about 20-30 meters away from before the fielders couldn't get to it. And here's another short delivery, which Charles swings down towards backward square. The fielder comes around and does the fielding. So another single. So a rather eventful over.
A very eventful over. In the end, 11 runs coming out of it. 58 for 2. St. Paul on 9 from 8 deliveries, and Kem Charles 25 from 13 deliveries. The sunshine is back with us, and it's really lovely to look at the cutting, the style of cutting on the ground, the green, and over the mountain areas, some low clouds, no threat of any rain. Lovely sunshine, which they bid in the ground now, which the players always enjoy.
Can't recall a day when it's very windy here at Las Sitges. A ground which is basically perched almost inside the mountains with the hills surrounding, almost like a crater.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. And the ground poached inside of that, and you can see the breeze at the ground level as the advertising flags.
Great observation.
A bit.
Seems that you had studied quite a lot of geography.
Probably have listened to other people. It's Toussaint again continues. And St. Paul goes, it goes high up again. And where does it finally go? It goes for that.
Well, I don't think
he's
he was...
gone. He's out in
I don't think he was anywhere near to play that shot. The ball was always lifting on him, and he was down on his front foot and executing the shot. Eventually got into the hand of McDonald, and he has to walk back. St. Paul goes for 9. Kem Charles on 24, and Toussaint yet among the wickets.
Yes, and I think great reward too for bowling a rather good spell so far, and he continues to be in the wicket column. Here is a man too that is due for some runs. We haven't seen much from Thomas at all so far. Haven't been out there for too long, but one knows he can certainly hit the ball a mile, and it will be rather good to see him stay around for a while and probably hit some of those mighty blows that we know he's capable of.
So the new batsman in is Adrian Thomas. And the strikers, a little bit of pressure added onto them now. They have lost 3 wickets for 59 runs, and we're in the 7th over. So after this over, just about 3 overs to bowl. And we're still waiting to see them coming out of this hole. At least to post a score, a very challenging score. Although the game of cricket, as I said, it's a game of glorious uncertainties. You never could tell what happens, but they need to move on from here.
A little bit of confusion out there. As I think there would have been 2 runs there. Would have probably.
Well, there is no need to panic now. If you do panic now, you'll get this team under much more pressure. To lose a wicket by the run-out route now is not what any team would like to have, knowing that 2.5 overs remaining.
Of course, Kem Charles is set, and of course Thomas has just walked to the crease, and he knocked 2 sails so far. 1 for 10, and that's a good shot. That has gone where? Now over the boundary for 6. So it was a good shot. It was pitched up there, and it was struck over the offside. And the fielder who was down on the sweeper position had no chance.
That was sweet timing. Well placed. Carried maximum.
So he is well set. He's been there from the start, Kem Charles. So one expects that the bulk of the scoring now will have to be done by him in support of Thomas and the other batters who is to come. We just had his figures dented there a bit. And the delivery just played fine down towards third man. And the return comes back in rather high, having to drag the keeper out. Toussaint himself having to run forward to do the tidying up. So another single have been had.
It's one of the shots I like to see batsmen play, that lead dab, that lead cut. Just timing it nicely. Charles.
Was going for a big one, but again the length didn't quite afford him to get underneath the ball, and as such he picked up 2. Good running though by the big man. So 2 runs to be had. That brings up the end of the 7th over, the end of it. It's 69 for 3. Toussaint has bowled his 2. 1 for 19, just having a little bit of damage done to his figures in this over. Kem Charles is on 43 from 16. He has certainly maintained that 200 strike rate that he's been going at. And Thomas, so has just come in, he's on 3. And I run with, if they do not push that up a bit, still wouldn't guarantee that they will get to 110.
But looking back at the shot that Adrian Thomas played, the last shot, he waited and waited and waited, and the ball was just not coming. And his execution, he could only get 2 runs. I guess if that ball was much more up here, we looking for a maximum, but he had to satisfy with the length of Toussaint. And the captain is now into the attack.
That would be interesting. It's not very economical on the last occasion. And this time on delivery outside the option, but has a very experienced head, of course, on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he knows how to hide those leg breaks quite easily and quickly on the batsmen. Fletcher, very experienced. Look at that.
And the delivery very close to the batsman, really not allowing him to free his arms at all. And that's what you want. So all he can do is squeeze it out behind point on the offside and pick up a single, which is very much what.
Very good batsmanship on the part of Kem Charles, just for carrying the team on his shoulder. A strike rate that he has kept 70 for 3. We are in the 8th over. After this, it's 2 overs remaining, and we still, that's Heatway on down to the long on boundary. Long on boundary, yes it is, and it's only a single. So Fletcher continues to demise with his gentle leg spin, I call it.
Oh, very. That was a good chase and a good stop. In fact, just prevented from going over the rope. As we saw Kem Charles bringing out the reverse sweep, and or should I call it the reverse tuck of the body, because it was just about waist height, and he chose to use the reverse shot and got it down towards backwards square where third man would have been had he glided it off the face of the bat. And picks up 2, but here's a hike down towards the catch will be taken, and yes, easily in the end. So Kem Charles has to go. He got one again. Smart bowling by the Spice man, pitching it right up there, up more towards leg stump. So ensuring that he did not get a lot of power onto the shot. And all he could have done is hike it, flick it down towards the fielder backwards square leg, who took a simple catch in the end. So Kem goes.
Well, the Spice man is known for his tricks, and there he getting one of them again. And
you mentioned Ashley. Well, as around there, John slipped back into the chair. I was just Ashley. I was just about to say to Ashley, boy, when you play these late cuts, you virtually play it out of the gloves of the wicketkeeper. And remember one wicketkeeper saying to a batsman, anything later than that is absent. Just play it that late, almost as the ball go past you. It's a very difficult shot to play. So the situation have not changed too drastically since you left commentary. Although the projected score still under 100 and lost a few wickets, 4 wickets, 73. We're in over number 8. And probably we are at that point where we really need to see a move on by the Saffron strikers. So it's 8 gone and only 2 to come. And the question still beckons as to whether they can get up to at least 100 and to make a match of it.
Well, certainly they will need to get up to 100 if they're going to really be competitive in this one. You have a really good, powerful Nutmeg Warriors lineup. And so Muggy, Adrian Thomas, his right name, his given name, Adrian Thomas. He's out there. We know that Adrian is a really good, powerful striker of the ball. We've seen Oatmeal in the Vinci Premier League really striking a few. And so these two, the hopes of the Saffron strikers will rest on them to try to get at least over the 100 mark. They're not too far away, but they're some distance yet.
Maybe we need to compare what happened in conditions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with what they faced here. It seemed like a totally different situation, different conditions. And therefore, we haven't seen some of the top performers up there do that yet in this tournament.
Well, Belfon is back. Captain Fletcher entrusting the penultimate over to Belfon. Starts well. Thomas not having such a good start. He's on 4. Yeah. Wants to make sure that he can clear the ropes. Belfon is anyway offline. He will want to deal with him. His team needs it. There he goes, swinging hard, high. It's gone. That's out of here. This is what he's known for.
Indeed. And first opportunity, really, Belfon have been from the start. In fact, he went for only a single in his first over. And he has gone pace off, basically, through the deliveries. And I want to think he will go back again to that. Probably this time now, just a little bit more pace on. And that was really welcome by Adrian Thomas. And he did what we probably know him to be able to do. That is to hit it long and hit it far. Hit it hard.
Well, this is more of what the Saffron strikers need. They really will want to be as competitive as possible in this one. And I've seen the third umpire make his way out quite a few times, so definitely a number of balls have gone disappearing so far for the morning. And as long as Muggy's out there, you expect that a few more just may go maybe to the river and to the nearby bushes. Yes. 79 for 4, 8.2 overs.
Continue to see, it's modern cricket where the ball seems to travel further and further. Every day you look at the game, it seems like there's no place, no ground, and even surroundings big enough to contain these balls. We seem to defy gravity and even aerodynamics. They really travel a long way. Those balls when they're struck. And this time Muggy goes high and he goes into the air and it should be an easy catch to the Spiceman, yes, to McDonald there. And Muggy this time being foxed out there. And I think again it was a slow ball. It was outside the off stump and Muggy had to reach for it. And as a result, he couldn't get the timing, he couldn't get the bat onto it. Of course, it was a slow one, it was out there. And he just didn't have the control of body to get behind it. And instead, flew up into the air, and McDonald took an easy catch in the end.
Well, tell you what, that was a really clever piece of bowling there by Belfon. He bowled a slower delivery, which got belted. He went even slower this time. And Thomas having to wait so long before the delivery got to him. He decided to go back. He went forward, he went across, he went around, and he still was just able to hit it to McDonald right there at point. So Belfon will be really happy with his day's work so far. He has done the job for his captain.
Yes, and as I said, smart bowling. And in fact, from the beginning of his spell, as I said, he went slower ball, piece off, and really troubled all the batsmen so far. And it was no surprise to see him going back to that. And and of course using that the width of the crease. Really. And
Well,
good
the
wicket.
veteran Nilon Pascal saw him belt a couple yesterday when the team needed it. Can he help his team now? Belfont, bag of tricks, slower ball. He pulls it through the mid-wicket region. They go for one. He's quickly down there. They will come for the second. And really good run in there by Pascal.
And again,
He's a veteran, but he's still looking quite young and refreshed out there, sprinting that two really quickly.
and just a bit caught out there by the slower delivery also. It was almost through the shot before the ball arrived. So, Nairon Belfont, whatever happens from here, what 4 deliveries gone in the 8 over, he'd have had a very good spell. Only 9 runs so far, 1 wicket. And this time he goes into the pitch. And delivery, 2 bounces down to the fielder down on the long on boundary. And they're coming quickly back for the second again. And a chance and a run out. Yes, so this time he couldn't get back Lewis. And it was well, they had to go for it really. And being run out. Another wicket has fallen. And it's 81 for what? For 5.
Yeah, well, at this stage, you have to go for broke. And let's look at the replay. You'll see it. Good, smart work there by the keeper. He came forward. He recognized it's going to bounce shot, collected, and he was able to throw. And really good, impressive work. Belfont was right there to collect, to effect a really good run out. So smart work by Andrew, recognizing that the ball would not have gotten to him. So he went to it and picking up the wicket of Othni Lewis. So Lewis really not able to help his team to get to the 200, to the 100. But more importantly, they still have a few deliveries to go, 7 deliveries. Can they make use of it? 7-6 is 42. That's certainly going to bring them over the 100.
I still cannot understand how the non-striker could have been run out by such a distance. Since he should have a head start basically, or on the batsman. But that happens. And Pascal again looking to swing it away, but can't make contact. Has a very, very, very good over. Comes to an end from Nairon Belfont. In fact, I heard him talk yesterday about his approach and of course, in fact, employing that very wide, full length outside the off-stop. It worked for him today, and probably we'll have to be seen whether whatever total would be posted by the Saffron strikers, whether that approach and that sensible bowling will work for them. Will go into a strike.
Tell you, 8 runs came off his over, but more importantly, they got 2 wickets and 2 very big wickets. You got rid of Adrian Thomas, you got rid of Othni Lewis, 2 of the more powerful strikers in the line in the middle order for the Saffron strikers. And so now it's Nikobe John joining Pascal, and he's going to be facing the Spiceman. Spiceman, known to be a very tricky person with the ball. He does well with his bat, but also those leg spinners that he tosses up, they tend to entreat some big shots and bring some big wickets to Fletcher.
So far, we've seen a wicket apiece for Belfont, one for Charles. No, in fact, Charles haven't picked up one.
Shot
Two
delivery.
Saints have picked up one.
In the air, and it's taken. So a wicket of the first delivery from Fletcher, and that's the deception that he brings.
So the Saffron strikers have to be very, very careful here. They can be probably find themselves being bowled out, or probably not being able to probably get up to 100 or go past 100, which would probably be a fighting total. And get another wicket, one for the Spiceman this time. And he has 2 wickets to his name. Jamal Andrews comes in.
So it's Jamal Andrews in the wicket crease now, and he has 5 deliveries to try to see how he can get his team close to 100 as possible. Looking to be cheeky, just want to guide it past that man there at short third man. Good take from the keeper. The Nutmeg Warriors had a pretty decent outing in the field so far. Again, missing this one.
We're spinning away from him and probably not picking Fletcher at all. Probably has no idea which direction the ball is turning. Therefore, he's basically essaying some shots and not quite in line with the delivery. One can see him pulling away from the delivery.
Andrew just looking to cut that one, but missing. Doesn't really have a clue as to what is happening there.
And all the time, the current rate is plummeting. And this time he hits it in the air and it goes one bounce down to Charles. And he gets a single and leaves Pascal with one delivery to probably find a maximum and to add a little bit more respectability to the total.
Well, this is a good matchup. These two guys have played cricket together. Fletcher and Pascal. And so the little rivalry there, you could have seen it. Pascal not really able to do anything with that. And so of the final delivery, it brings an end to the Saffron Strikers innings. They can only muster 83 for 7 off their 10 overs. Fletcher will take this as a really good outing with the ball. As he rightly says, all he needs to do now is to get one more than the Saffron Strikers, and it means that he has a win and can move up the table.
Remember, it's they're the defending champions, and of course they still have the confidence. See the final score 84 for 8 after 10, and Fletcher himself picking up 2 wickets. There were 1 wicket for Enoch Toussaint and 1 for Nyron Belfone. Josh Thomas also picked up 1 earlier on, and all in all, pretty good day's work. The only batsman so far to have collected runs has been Kem Charles. Kem Charles, he got to 36, 16 to Brathwaite, 10 to Adrian Thomas, and certainly the rest did not contribute a great deal at all. And as a result, they're 84 for 8, and it means that 85 would be needed by the Ginger Warriors.
Yeah, the Nutmeg Warriors.
The Nutmeg Warriors, yeah, they would equate 84, and they would think that they should be able to overhaul that.
Yeah, certainly the Warriors will feel that they have done well enough to restrict them. Anything under 100, you take it as a plus. And so you can look for some positive cricket. Let's see what happens. The Strikers, they had a low total yesterday, but they fought their way through. And so I know that they're not going to just roll over and give victory to the Nutmeg Warriors. So stay tuned, stay with us. We are going to have the chase in a few moments. I can tell you, you can look forward to it within the next few minutes. We are going to have a spectator experience moment where a couple of spectators will come out and they will be trying to win themselves $100. They have 3 deliveries in which they need to hit the middle stump. And if they do so, they will win themselves $100. So, can look forward to that spectator moment in a few minutes.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going higher. Full of energy, energy. Everybody charge up. West Indies going higher. Full of energy, energy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the umpires are out there. The Saffron strikers are out in the field.
So Saffron Strikers, they are going to start with the spin option. And Andrew, driven Andrew, already is off the mark with a bungry. And the Nutmeg Warriors are on their way to get 81 for victory. Othniel Lewis, tall bowler from the pavilion end. Saffron scoring what, some 80 runs. And a lot of appeal for leg before. The umpire is not interested. And so the batsmen are going to cross for leg bye. Yes, a bye. The umpire just signaling a bye. So the score moves on to 5. It's still 80 to get from 58 deliveries. And Lewis, it is off breaks. Tall bowler who is very much composed with his self. Lejon Charles is yet to get off the mark and is facing Lewis. Bowling around the wicket to the left-hander. Oh, and that's a good delivery. Batsman can't do nothing with it. As the sun is out there in its glory. Lewis bowls. Loud appeal for leg before, and it's gone. Well, you just can't believe it. He's gone. Let's see on the replay. Oh, I think from my vantage point, you're looking at it, I think he really had this one.
Yeah, maybe batsman just suggesting that he may have gotten something on it, but we saw 2 strange incidents in the over. Going back to the appeal, and it was signal buys, which was very, very strange.
Yes.
There was a confident appeal for what could have been a leg before, why we thought probably it was caught behind. So, and given not out, and on this occasion, being struck right in front of the off stump. And as we saw from Lewis coming around the wicket, he was getting a little bit of drift, getting the ball to drift into the left-hander.
Yes, with the
It
ball,
don't-
the breeze blowing across the field, he really get Kyle Ramdu. So the Warriors 5 for 1. And as usual in the first over, another wicket has.
Wicket in the first. We can almost record that.
Well, I think from since I've been here, there was only one game that did not have a wicket in the first over.
There were one in the first ball of the second. So it's 5 for 1. And of course the Saffron strikers would want to exert as much pressure as they possibly can. The total is not really one that is, you can say, is of a huge total by any means. And it will have to take a combination of really good bowling. You'll have to pick up wickets, and you'll have to be very sharp in the field to peg the Nutmeg Warriors back. Of course, Lewis being tight from stump to stump. He has bowled another fine over, so it's 1 for 4. He has bowled, taken 1 wicket for 4 runs. And at the end of it, Nutmeg Warriors, they are 5 for 1 after 1. And the required run rate is, again, not very, very taxing, 8.89. And having to chase that type of rate, one expects that shouldn't be too difficult.
From our vantage point here, I don't think it'll be very much difficult for the batsmen that the Warriors have. And so Ramdu will be. Is he going to be facing his first delivery or?
Andrew.
It's Andrew, I think it is.
Yes, and Kem
Andrew.
Charles.
Andrew will be facing. Kem Charles. Again, the Saffron strikers are looking to exhaust whatever spin is in the wicket. It's a good ploy, bearing in mind that it's only 81 you are defending.
And thinking to have a slip in because they too will want to pick wickets up. And, bit surprised that the wide was given there, and the fact that the batsman did take a gigantic step across. So in the new law now, when the batsman moves, the line automatically moves also. And one can see Andrews setting himself and get going across the off stump very, very early. Realizing that probably line of attack would be full and wide outside the off stump. And managed to get a single. So 7 for 1. We're in over number 2. 1 wide and 1 single so far. Ramdu hasn't yet scored. Japan Andrew is on 3. He's on 5 in 3 deliveries. Kem Charles not for 2. Just 2.
Thank you.
Ramdu gets one on or around the leg stump, but probably if anything just drifting down the leg side. Struck on the pad, no real appeal. 7 for 1.
Warriors will have to be careful how they set themselves. Can't let the pressure build.
I think they must feel that once they get a reasonable start, they can certainly make up for it in the middle and towards the tail end of the innings with wickets in hand. Charles in the, it's a very tight over. 4 deliveries, 4 legitimate deliveries gone in the over so far. 7 for 1, we're in over number 2. And Nandu given a little space to work with us. Hit high in the air. Pascal runs back, but he can't get to it. And it goes all the way for a maximum. So what a simple, easy shot of delivery. Probably the first real delivery which Charles floated up to the batsman, and Nandu just eased into it and hit it high over mid-off and getting a maximum. So that certainly will help.
Yes, Ramdu timing there, very impeccable. And he hitting that ball, sweet timing out of the ground.
Again on the body. The ball just coming off the thigh pad area and rolling away on the onside. So bring up the end of over number 2. At the end of it, 13 for 1. Nandu is on 6. Javan Andrew is on 5. Kem Charles, none for 8 after his first over. And the Saffron strikers trying their best to see how much they can stifle the batting of this Nutmeg team. It will have to think that maybe to win they will have to bowl the Nutmeg Warriors out.
Yes, they got to bowl them out if they got to win this game. And the Warriors will have to keep scoring. Lewis bowls. That's a good shot.
In fact, that's
On the bounce into the boundary for 4.
In fact, it's a brilliant shot by Andrew. We haven't seen the slog sweep too often so far in the tournament. It was a delivery pitch up almost in line with middle and leg. And he was almost down on one knee and hit it over the backward of square region. Rather safe. And down to the boundary for 4. This time he gone straight and he gone straight down the ground. And he's caught. So caught by Charles down there this time. Javan Andrew taking his chance, looking to go down the ground. And a bit of power failure. They've not been able to clear the man down at long on. And a big wicket now taken by the Saffron strikers. And it's now 13 and 4. That's what, 17 it is for 2.
Yes, I thought Javan who just went under the ball a little bit too much and lifting it rather than playing with that more horizontal bat, just digging a little bit under the ball too much, and he paid the price.
Lewis has picked up 2 wickets so far. He's in his second over. And the Spiceman has come to the crease. Probably with a little pressure on him.
Definitely so.
Been lost 2 wickets for 19. We're in over number 3.
A partnership is needed.
So easy to see batsmen falling to perceived pressure when there's no real pressure.
Yes, I'll be knocking the ball around and taking the singles as regularly as possible. And this is the kind of sense that we want to see our batters approaching. Regardless of the format, they are playing to occupy the crease. For the bad balls, you will get them.
It's a very interesting, important moment in the game. The arrival of the Spiceman. He haven't really set the tournament alight yet. Haven't seen a real dominating innings from him yet. Probably today might well be the day. It's a delivery by Lewis, which he just plays in front of him.
Well, he got time. There's runs on the board to be made.
and hits it in the air, and that has gone a long way too, and it's gone for 6. So a carry maximum by the Spiceman. No other nonchalantly, a delivery just pitched up on his pad and just took it over the wide mid wicket, between mid wicket and long on, and a maximum. And what a way to a grand entry by the
Well,
Spiceman.
I think there that the Spiceman playing with his ease towards his ball that pitches just around that area, asking to be hit, and let's see what go again.
There is Lewis again to Fletcher. Fletcher turns it away down towards backward square. The fielder just fumbling there a bit, and they will come back for the second. So just a little bit of fumbling there at the backward square by the fielder, and the batsman quickly come back for 2. They will take the score on to 27-27. We're in over number 3, and two legitimate deliveries to go in this over. There is Otnell Lewis. Lewis bowls to Fletcher again, who just eased it into the onside and picks up another single. This will take the total to 28 for 2 at the end of 3. At the end of it, 28 for 3, so 57 required in 42. So not very, very difficult in terms of the asking rate. And one expects that the Nutmeg Warrior will certainly want to just comfortably compile those runs.
So it's not all that difficult. The required run rate 8.14 and the current run rate is 9.33. So there isn't any magic, any difficulty outside of there. They just have to keep rotating the strike as much as possible, as we have seen them start doing. And that's the mark and sign of building an inning. They're going to take the singles as they come and put away the bad balls, which is necessary. So Fletcher 9 from 4 and Ramdu 6 from 7. 28 for 2 at the end of 3 overs.
They're well ahead of the game. In fact, the Duckworth Lewis pass score is 24. So they've gone past that. And another single. Yes. Andre Fletcher comes in, he's on 9 from 4. Kyle Ramdu is on 6 from 7. So Fletcher's gone to 10. So Ramdu is on 6, will come into strike. And Kem Charles into the back into the attack for his second over. He has gone for 9 so far. It's 29 for 2. We're in over number 4. He comes in to Ramdu, who again picks up an easy single as Kem himself having to run away towards backward square, more towards a short fine leg to do the fielding. Meantime, the batsman had enough time to go through for a single to take Ramdu on to 7. Fletcher is back on strike. He's on 10. And 30 for 2. With Son Charles and a delivery outside the off stump and just cutting it down towards Thomas, who is fielding down there at the what is the backward point, at the point area. There's a point and a backward point on the boundary. As here is Charles again, wide outside the off stump. And the umpire says that that's legitimate. Four deliveries gone in over number 4, 30 for 2. Again, a delivery wide, short side the off stump, and you can say probably just bowl into his field. Full and wide outside the off stump. And the Spiceman can do no more than to pump it out towards extra cover. And there's no run. Here it Charles again, wide outside the off stump, and again, this time a delivery which has gone through the offside, and they feel that long off having to come around to do the fielding. And another single to take Andre Fletcher on to 11 and to bring up the end of over number 4 at the end of it. 31 for 2. Current strike rate 7.75. The required rate has gone up to 9. And it goes to show anytime you do not score what is required.
Yes, at 54 out of 36 deliveries. Quite gettable.
These two are capable of hitting the ball quite a long way. Well, we know the exploits of Andre Fletcher, and they've also seen enough of Ramdu to safely say that he too is very adept at hitting the ball out of the ground. So we'll be back to pace, and it will be interesting to see how the faster men goes on this track, whether they will continue to employ the pace-off strategy, which really seem to be working.
Yes, that is deployed here, and the bowlers are very much into it. Condition just suiting that kind of bowling now. No sunshine. The birds is not too strong. Royal Williams, experienced campaigner in the T10, is going to pick up the attack from the pavilion end as he bowls to Fletcher. Fletcher not timing this one well, and there is no run.
Big shot outside the off stump, but Fletcher probably welcoming the fact that there is some pace available.
Outside the off stump again, and Fletcher opening the face of the bat towards the deep point region, and they're going to pick up a single.
Once again, they wouldn't mind that at all. The runs just coming in a trickle.
Mm-hmm.
While that is happening, the rate continues to go up. We've seen a significant drop in the scoring rate. 42-42, we're in over number 5 at the midway point. Again,
53 and 34 balls.
just one big over.
It's one big over.
And just turned away from the fielder at backward point and at backward square leg, who is Pascal, and really didn't have a chance. It was not misfield, it was turned rather fine down past the fielder. He had diving all lengths to see if he can cut it off, couldn't. And a very welcome boundary for the Nutmeg Warriors. They go on to 36. We're midway through the 5th over.
Ramdu just had his head well over the delivery, so he had a lot of control playing it and getting the result.
So here is a delivery again, which is on the body and just cannoning into the pad, and he can't go 36 for 2. 5 overs and 2 balls remaining in this inning. 49 still to win. Of course, the Duckworth Lewis Pasco now favoring the Saffron strikers.
He bowls. All right, Ramdu
Drive.
driving, and it's only a single. Can satisfy with this. He moves to both batsmen on 12 from 11 deliveries. And Hector, may say that they're still having a good look.
I don't think they're feeling the pressure of the scoreboard at the moment. It's still very, very manageable. They need what? 48 from 48 still to win.
Oh, this one is hoist.
Yes, and as I said,
Long and far from Fletcher.
yeah. So they can afford to basically play on merit, take what is on offer, and of course the big shot will come in and between. It has come 43 for 2 at the end of 5, and this means that it's almost even Steven. So again, they're back up with the rate, scoring at 8.60. Require just 8.4 to win. So very much in control, basically. One can say the Nutmeg Warriors at this point. 42 in 5. So one expects that the approach wouldn't change too much by the batsmen.
Yes, I think that, and it's a good approach. There is nothing to be rushed, no crazy blood rush. Apply yourself and play some Matthew good cricket. So Pascal,
It's strange that Pascal has come on so late. He has done some pretty good work earlier on in the innings. One probably thought you would have seen him probably opening the bowling. But of course, another strategy being employed by the Saffron, using the slower bowlers to probably just check the batsman, put a check on the batsman who love the ball coming on to the bat. But Pascal has done well enough to
yes.
probably to have earned the right to have that first over and take that first wicket in that first over.
Yes, let's see what Ramdu do now. Oh, and
Oh,
he's
it's-
slapping this one.
And well,
Wow.
at one time, Thomas, Adrian, Muggy Thomas thought that he was in business.
Well, welcome
But-
to the
but-
party.
Eventually looking up to see just rolling over his head. And in the slot, really, just too much width and very little pace, not much pace on it. And there goes the other big shot coming. So just easing the pressure a wee bit. And delivery outside the off stump this time. And not making contact. Again, that wide full length being employed. The total 49 for 2. So expecting the 50 to come up. We're in over number 6. Now scoring at 9.19. Require 36 runs in 28 balls. So the equation is coming down.
Yes, and with these two batsmen inside, looking quite set, both of them on 18.
Because there was a maximum in the last over and one in this over. Suddenly, the advantage being shifted.
Well played. On the back foot. Ball hustling. And he can do no wrong to go on the back foot and push it. Take the single. Brings Fletcher back on the strike.
And of course,
And the
brings
50
you.
comes up.
Yeah, 50 coming up in 5.3 overs. 33 deliveries.
Yeah.
And certainly, it's almost
Keeper making some adjustments. So too is the umpires. Cross the umpire crossing over.
$50 for 2. Andrew Fletcher is on 18 from 12. Kyle Ramdu is on 19 from 14. These two have formed the basis of a probably deep partnership, which will see them through. It's them a slower ball by a slower Yorker by the experienced Pascal, which the Spiceman who have probably seen that many a times in his career so far at various levels.
Yes, and he knows just exactly what to do. He moves to 19, goes batsman on 19, and he's supposed to be 52 for 2 in the 6th over.
Pascal turns on the top of his mark and just walks forward and then hustles into ball to Kyle. And he drives it out into the offside. And it has gone through for 4. So another good shot by him, a delivery outside the off stump and driven through the extra cover region. And no one could have gotten to that. Of course, Thomas, who is down on the long off boundary, really didn't have much of a chance.
Well, it's good timing, good placement from Ramdu. And he's looking quite good outside here. Looking to take his team along to along the victory path. which is
23
there
years and a
already.
short
Oh,
delivery
that's a
and
good
tick it
shot.
down the leg side again, and that will go away. So not good bowling there by Pascal on this occasion. Straying onto the legs of Ramdu, and Ramdu was quite happy to just help it on its way. And certainly every time a boundary is scored, a maximum is hit, it's really just releasing the pressure and probably like a dagger in the wounds of the Saffron strikers. So the score goes on to 59 for 2 after 6, scoring at almost 10 and over. So just a mere 1.5 delivery, 1.5 run per delivery per over to 6.5 in fact run per over. Necessary, so almost a run a ball. It should be very easy picking, no real pressure.
So what Hector is actually saying, the run rate is needed is 6.50.
Yeah.
And currently they are going at 9.83. So the Nutmeg Warriors are well intact, and some 26 runs required in 24 deliveries. There is nothing to rush about. And with the experience of Fletcher on 19 from 13 and Kyle Ramdu on 27 from 16, you will expect that the Nutmeg Warriors will win this one quite handsomely.
So far we have not had to have the Duckworth Lewis pass score yet to determine a game. We don't think that will happen today. St. Paul and struck over the infield, and whereas had gone over the top for again a maximum. So just doing it in style now, probably just pressing the foot on the accelerator a bit more.
You can't bowl to Fletcher in that window. He's gonna open it and he's gonna put it away. St. Paul knows that. Look at it. Wide outside the off stump and up there. Fletcher is gonna just stretch his bat and fling it over. That's another maximum carry maximum. And the Warriors seem to be going into a high gear.
Yes, feeling comfortable now. Again, driven down towards long on this time. The fielder comes off the boundary. And Kem Charles there. So another single. All adding to it. It's 19 now from 22, so it's gone under a runner ball. And so what you may say, what? Easy sailing?
Easy sailing. Easy like Sunday morning.
Yes.
But we are Friday afternoon.
Yes. So we don't know how much wind are left in the sails of the Saffron striker.
Saffron striker looking, shoulders are sort of very long at this stage. With these two batsmen very much set, and there isn't much runs to go. So Javel bowls to Ramdu, and he's batting and seeing the ball as big. Just getting there and pushing it in front of him. Playing with a lot of experience there, Hector. Simply very much composed what he's doing.
Yes, and doing just what he needs to do, just what is necessary, basically. And, of course, this two will want to see through because, of course, averages comes into it. Here is the Spiceman again. There is no one there, and that we got pretty close to the boundary. We wait to see whether it's 6 or 4. We'll probably have a look at it, but it went pretty close to the rope. The umpires are just checking. The delivery was short on the body, and, of course, Fletcher will dismiss that.
He just picked the position. Look at it. Yeah,
Yes.
asking to be hit there. And Fletcher just picking it, timing it well, and placing it nicely.
And
For 4.
so confirmation. Just one bounce very close to the boundary. Probably still just wanting a further confirmation. What we can pick up here, Ashley.
Let's see.
It's probably just inside. It dropped pretty close to the rope, though.
Pretty close, yes. Very, very pretty close.
You know whether it was, if he hit the rope on the full, it would be, of course, a maximum. The the moment it's 67 for 2. In the middle, in the midway of the middle, we have the 7th over. Still wanting probably another look at it. Very difficult to
and
think.
they are very much right doing so.
What do you say, Anne? Just before the rope, or? It's a very close one.
Yes, it's a very close one.
Still another look. Yes. Good camera work. I can't tell whether the rope or the stop. It doesn't seem that way. And it's 4, yes.
So
So
yeah, I think from what I've seen, it's just very close to the boundary. What on a 1 bounce. So Fletcher moves to 30, 71 for 2. St. Paul's ball again, and Fletcher hiked this one.
one-handed, straight down the ground for 6.
Well, this is just the Spice man in action.
And this is probably the big over the Saffron couldn't afford.
Yes. And St. Paul nowhere near his standard. And Fletcher hiking this one.
So another maximum to Fletcher. And he has gone quickly on the 36, you know. Started a bit slowly and just picking up the pace as victory is in sight.
Very much so.
And again, 1 bounce again, away for 4 through mid-wicket. And almost a shorter ball now, and probably St. Paul saying to him, "Why have you done that? Why have you done that for? Have you done that to me?"
It's a 4 to get of 18 at the end of the 7th over. 81 for 2, the Warriors. Fletcher on 40 from 18, and Ramdu on 28 from 18, from 17 that is, and St. Paul. 22 runs of the over.
So some of the spectators enjoying it over on the far side.
And the little pavilions there with the branches. Oh,
Yeah.
very smoothing area to be now.
Yes.
Getting the natural.
Few familiar faces out there.
Yes, yes.
Has chosen to use that section of the ground. That would be a wide.
So it comes down now, what, just to 3 runs
82 for 2.
in 18 balls.
So in a T10 game, it's a rather emphatic victory, one can say.
Yes, yes, very much so. I think it was well orchestrated how they chase, lose all the wickets. They were way below the run rate at one time, and then, well, Ramdu played a very intelligent inning as he faces again. And Pascal, with his experience, still feel that he can create something. That's Pascal.
Well, at best can something, maybe another wicket to add to his tally. Not that probably it will affect the outcome of the game too adversely. So.
And Ramdu will be just looking for a boundary to finish it. Yes?
Yes, and we'll take what is given. He's given a boundary, and of course, it's the end of it. We think, yes, it should be. As you see, Bradford just pulling the gloves off. Also, the Spiceman pulling the glove off. The handshakes, which certainly.
It's a lovely shot.
Yeah, marks the end of the game. It was a delivery shot. It was on the body, and of course, what we've seen from Ramdu is what we've seen to the end, where he played every ball on his merit, and certainly a partnership of 67 between Ramdu and Fletcher, and this certainly has ensured that the Nutmeg Warriors won comfortably by 8 wickets. Fletcher, well, he remained, Andrew Fletcher, well, he remained not out. Ramdu remained not out on 32. Fletcher remained not out on 40. And nothing really much to speak about in terms of the bowling. There was one run out, and the only wicket to have fallen would have gone to Lewis, Otnell Lewis, who took 2 wickets, and that was a very long time ago.
A very long time ago.
Yes,
2 for 19.
19, a very long time ago.
And nothing else in the wicket
Bowling
column.
department, yes. And except Kem Charles, who was fairly economical, went
Yeah.
for only 5.5 and over. But by and large, it was a rather comprehensive victory for the Nutmeg Warriors. So that's it. Both the Nutmeg Warriors, the defending champions, and one knows pretty well that they wouldn't give it up easily. You will have to take it away from them.
Yes.
They've probably been the most successful franchise so far in the 5 editions of the T10, the Dream 11 T10 tournament, Greater T10 tournament, and no wonder why. Rather clinical in most of the things they do.
Yes, they're very clinical in their approach. They plan well, and they do execute well.
So that's it as far as match number 1. On day number 5, a win for the Nutmeg Warriors, and they will be happy to be again in winning row after losing the first game. So as the preparation continues for the upcoming game, we would take a break, and we'll be back here to continue to call the action for you. So be sure to join us.
Okay, so we're here at the post-match presentation in game number 1, day number 5 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. I'm here with Kem Charles, the captain of the Saffron Strikers. Kem, really not the sort of outcome that you wanted?
No, firstly, I didn't think we put enough runs on the board. We started okay, and then we fall away a bit in the middle.
All right. you seem to be struggling a bit in terms of the batting. What can you say now to your batters? And I mean, as you relook this game.
I mean, I think men just have to stay positive because I think we have good hitters in our team. So you just have to continue believing and stay positive.
All right. Well, really a hard one for you, but good luck in the rest of the tournament. There's a long way to go, and so we wish the Saffron Strikers all the best.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm going to be speaking next with the Nutmeg Warriors captain. Also, I mean, this is the post-match ceremony, and he's here. I have to speak to him on all levels because he's our power hitter. He is our impact bowler. He is the man of the match, and he is the captain of the Nutmeg Warriors, Andre Spiceman Fletcher. Andre, a win under the belt.
Yeah, it's good to have a win, but still I don't want to be complacent. The bowlers did the job. We didn't back up as well with the fielding, but we still have room for improvement. I think we just have to continue to work together, continue to make sure that we do the three aspects as well as possible, and then the result will take care of itself.
Well, I looked at the game and I saw a really concerted effort to make sure that batters stay out there. What is it that you said to these guys as they began their innings?
I wouldn't say I said anything. It's just them backing their ability and playing situation. It's just, the person that gets in, try to bat as deep as possible. We have a lot of power hitters in our team. Javon is one who might be able to bat deep, but also he can step it up when he can. It's just for us to try our best to play to our strength, continue to support each other, and just go there and express ourselves.
All right, well, there you heard it from the Spiceman himself. And so we are now going to have the presentations. And to make the presentations, we're going to ask the Secretary of the Grenada Cricket Association, Ms. Cherise Noel, to come and to assist us with the presentation. So we're going to present the impact bowler, and that goes to Andre Fletcher. And he's also going to receive the prize for the Carib power hitter of this match. And now he's going to receive the Man of the Match award. And there we have it, a happy Andre Fletcher. And the Nutmeg Warriors, they move up the table. So now they have 2 wins from 3 matches. And they certainly are the defending champions. They will want to continue to make their statement to let the entire competition know that the Nutmeg Warriors, they are defending champions and they are going to defend. So stay with us. We are going to take a break and then we're getting back to the action right here at the Last Suggest playing field. We're getting ready for game number 2 on this Friday. It's a wonderful Friday. It's a spectator experience Friday where the spectators can win prizes. 100 if you hit a 6, 100 if you hit the stump of 3 deliveries. So from here, the first match has ended. We'll see you on the next side.